Hi, Manish. Great to have you here. Could you please introduce the company that you represent?
Yeah, nice to meet you, Manoj. My name is Manish Vermani. I am Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Philips and Temro. We own a brand, EvoCharge, which provides electric vehicle charging stations for the EV industry.
And so, what do you offer to the market when it comes to your product, services?
Right. So we provide a couple of different things. We obviously provide charging stations. We also provide some of the most innovative cable management solutions. If you go on our website, which is evocharge.com, you'll see obviously the pedestals and retractors, but also Evo Reel, which is a very innovative product that we've offered in the market for many years that's very suitable and very convenient for both consumers as well as commercial applications, especially parking lots where you're trying to avoid the cables kind of hanging loose. The other thing that we do that we offer are network subscriptions, which those are not our networks, but we offer for other people, which provides customers a lot of flexibility in choosing whichever network they want. We make sure that those network configurations are actually preloaded and tested on our charging stations in our factory, and we ship directly to the installation site. So if you're a parking lot owner, you're going to get something that you can install. It'll automatically connect with the network service provider of your choice. Um, so those are the kind of the three things: the charging station, the cable management solutions, as well as network services that we offer.
All right. And so, how do you stand out in the market, especially within the parking industry?
Yes. So the parking industry is one that is obviously quite focused on operating costs, and it's important that you have that. The other thing is uptime is critical for the industry, and so what's important is your products need to be highly reliable, so the uptime is very high, which is one thing we deliver. Data that we have received from our customers show that our uptime is highly upwards of 99%. So that is a remarkable hardware reliability. Then the other thing that the parking operators need is a very reliable network. So and the important thing there is customers want choice. And by that, what I mean is when you buy a charging station with a network, you don't want to be logged into the network because you've purchased the hardware, it's installed. If the network provider isn't providing good service to you, you want the flexibility to switch and buy somebody else's network. So where we differentiate in the market is instead of being vertically integrated and offering our own network and locking customers in, what we do is we offer network subscriptions of various different key players in the industry. There's some large players in the market here, especially in North America, and we have partnerships with almost all of them. And so we provide their network services at the same price as you would get from them directly. So there's no difference in pricing. But the more important thing is, as a customer, you have a choice of seeing which model works best for me. You have the best hardware, which network provider you select that. And then the other thing is, if you're unhappy with the services of one network provider, you could come back to us and say, well, we're really unhappy with them. We want to switch our providers. So we can do that. The last thing, which I think oftentimes gets overlooked, is how seamless we make the experience to be. And I want to talk about that a little bit because in a normal kind of situation, what would happen with a vendor like us would be we would have the hardware. Typically, we would ship the hardware to a network provider who would then load their configuration or not, or it might get drop shipped directly to the site. And somebody at the site then has to configure the unit, which can be quite difficult for a lot of people. It's a technical thing, and you don't really always have the technical expertise available at all times. Many different providers in the industry would require customers to use only their certified electricians to install because they've been trained to configure the units. That adds a lot of cost. What we do differently is because of our partnerships with all the network providers, we actually configure the units in our factories. We do a network connectivity test to make sure things are working fine. And then when we drop ship the units to the location of the installation location, it's really easy at that point. You switch on the unit and it automatically connects. The what that also does is, because you don't need a certified installer, you can use any licensed electrician to install these units, which again, gives, for a parking operator or owner, you have your crew that you trust, that you work with, you have contracts maybe with them, you understand their pricing. um, Overall it becomes a much better seamless experience at a much lower cost for the customer.
Right. This freedom and flexibility, and in the end, the value for the parking operators is something that's quite important. And with EV charging being a very crucial part of the industry now, this is very key. And looking ahead to the future, where's the company headed?
Yeah, yeah. So the that was the other part of the answer that I was going to talk about, that we have is we offer some very innovative cable management solutions. And for the parking industry, it's extremely important because you have multiple things to consider. One is the customer experience. If you are an EV customer and you have to go grab the charger, connect to your car, and afterward, and if you find that the charger is sitting on the ground or the cables are all rolled over and they're getting dirty and somebody has to touch them, it's not a good experience. Especially if you live in Minnesota, you get a lot of snowfall. Cables get buried in snow and then it turns into ice, and it's a problem. What you require are cable management solutions that make sure that the cables are off the ground. So that's one thing. And so we provide lots of very interesting solutions, from, obviously pedestals, but also retractors, and then Evo Reel, which I highly suggest people to kind of look at that. The And it's also important from a regulatory perspective. You have ADA, which is the American Disabilities Act, that has some requirements in terms of the height and safety. You have OSHA compliance requirements, which is Occupational Safety and Hazard. I'm sorry, Act, I believe. So again, you have some regulatory requirements that you have to meet as well to make sure that your customers are safe, and your products are also safe. You don't want people driving over your cables or your holsters and getting damaged. And so those solutions are quite important. So going forward, what we're doing is we're continuing to innovate in terms of our products, charging stations, as well as our cable management solutions. So in the next year, you'll continue to see more of those solutions come out in the market.
Great, Manish. Thank you for the time, and great to be learning more about these solutions, and looking forward to seeing more of your products in the market.
Yeah, thank you, Manoj. Really appreciate the time. Thank you.